Y'all understand that he came for blood on that one, calling Europe America's little brother, and then saying they will never be able to do this. Why?
Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy.
Oh, I knew China was going to hit back. I just didn't expect it to be like this. So there's a string of videos that have been making the rounds recently, and it's China pretty much letting the cat out the bag. The problem that I'm seeing with this is people aren't really taking into consideration just how much of your stuff comes from China.
What?
Personally, I thought it was just clothing. China can produce electronics, they can produce tools. And so now, because everyone already knew what was going on in China, they are the world's manufacturer. And with the tariffs in place, it seems to threaten that. So everyone knew that they were going to retaliate at some point. They implemented their own tariffs. The US saw this, so the US hit back and then China struck. And then the US hit back and then China struck. And everyone knew that China was going to do something beyond just implementing tariffs to strike back. What I didn't expect, though, was that the retaliation that they were going to come with was just going to be, well, snitching. This man right here released a video on TikTok that put many companies that sell in America on blast. So the type of companies that he has in mind that he wants to target are luxury, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, your Chanels. And he's been outing all of them, stating that as much as they may want to claim that all of their stuff is all homemade, in all actuality, it's still made in China. And he is very much willing to offer you the exact same product for 1/10 of the price.
In the world are made in China, but though some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China, but those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have Hermes bag and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you
I think I know what he's going to say. All of a sudden, you feel like if the quality is lower, you feel like the quality of the bag, it could be made with the exact same type of material, almost spitting image, if not spitting image, actually. But because it just says it's made here versus made here, you feel like if the bag has less worth.
Leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not.
Good Lord, he's saying you got duped, hoodwinked, bamboozled. Unless I'm mistaken, this is just a confession to say that you have been fooled by marketing.
Be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself.
Now, yes, I think it'd be kind of foolish for you to say that you can take this as a blanket statement for every product and not recognize that there are just some things that you don't want from certain nations. Because the degree to which they scrutinize the product to make sure that it's on the up and up is something that has to be taken into consideration. Like food, for instance, or someone coming to do electric work at your house. You want to make sure that it reaches a certain kind of standard. But when it comes to something like a purse, what this guy through China is saying is that it's the exact same thing, same product, same build, zippers the same. The only thing that they cannot put on there is that logo.
Denied?
Now, something like this, would this be considered IP theft because they have the mold so they can recreate whatever product that they want to for much cheaper and then undercut you? But he continued. I thought it was just one video, but he continued and gave you a full breakdown of how much one of these luxury bags would actually cost in stores versus if you bought it from them, what the bag is really priced at.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the
I gotta check that. Okay, so just to give you a fair idea of what it is he's talking about, I saw some bags that were similar, and the prices are ranging from anywhere around $11,500 to $54,000.
Damn!
Okay, so one thing you could say is, admittedly, right off the bat, he's not lying.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today,
Tell us.
I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. The second is Weinheim from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called heat sealed edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. For each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. The package, this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory.
Pause. So just to go with the numbers that he just gave you. So he said for the ones that sold in Hermes, it's roughly around $38,000 in comparison to this one that they would offer you for about $1,400 rounded up. You understand that that's 27 times the price. You understand that that's 27 times the price. So to get to this price at $1,400 with a 100% markup, it'd be about $2,800. So to get to the price in the stores, that's a 2,700% markup. All that for a logo. Let me let this man finish.
Will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware, same edge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
That's rude stuff to say. It's even better quality and craftsmanship at the end. This is why I said they went off, because they weren't done. I thought he was finished. I thought that was going to be it. He wasn't finished. He made another one.
For the past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low. What I'm really proud of is that first, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories.
I have to pause right there because there was something very, very important that you need to hear again.
But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low. What I'm really proud of.
So for anyone that asks, why do so many businesses choose to do business in China? It's because of that right there. It's something that everyone in the West all knew was going on. They just didn't want to acknowledge it. Why? Your life was made easier because there's someone overseas that you will never see, you will never meet, working for almost nothing.
First, we have the best quality control. Two, we have the best craftsmanship. You know, Chinese craftsmen are always intelligent and diligent. Three, we have the most complete supply chain. We always get what we want, like zippers, accessories of any kind, any color, and leathers immediately. Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. 3, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting.
Y'all understand that he came for blood on that one, calling Europe America's little brother, and then saying they will never be able to do this. Why? Because they're too expensive and lazy. He said it, not me.
Right.
Don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have good quality control and they don't have as good craftsmanship. Their workers are either too expensive or too lazy. 3, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories. That is why they failed, and that is why we will always be the best OEM factory for luxury brands. Why don't you just contact us and buy from us? You won't believe the prices we give you.
Yeah, so China's genuinely just trying to cut the middleman out the picture, trying to cut the store out of the picture and saying, you want the same product with the exact same quality, and they're even saying it might be better, then why not just contact us directly? We'll hook you up. And from what I see,
if you're like me and you've been seeing nothing but Chinese sellers on your For You page for the last 2 days, it's starting to make you wonder, are DHgate bags the actual dupe, or have these luxury brands been duping us this entire time? So on TikTok, my page originally went crazy because I do a ton of DHgate reviews, and y'all be trying to eat me up in the comments because I'm not ashamed of what things are dupes. I was literally to show you guys what the dupe looks like next to the real thing. Y'all literally go Google this bag. It's called like Queen Margaret. I think the Queen Margaret bag. That's what it looks like, and it's like all weather leather, but look at the quality, look at the handles, look at the color, look at the strap. I'm gonna show you guys inside.
I'm sorry, I'm done. I had to double check because I'm curious. This is it. This is the one she was talking about. That's the price. I'm gonna stop right there because Tariffs and luxury companies did this. Got you buying $38,000 bags when it's really worth $1,400. That's crazy. Okay. Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.